Hi, my wonderful tarot bumblebees. It's Ethany. Welcome back to my channel. And today I want to talk all about the season of summer and tarot and the practices that you may wish to incorporate in your seasonal readings, your rituals, and ways to enrich your reading practice for yourself and your querients, your clients, and just even to add a little bit of summer spice to your readings. I am a little late on the summer game with this coming out so late, but I hope that you find this just as inspiring and you can always come back to this for next year. But these are the decks and practices that I am going to be using for 2025. For a lot of tarot readers, especially those of us who are either very aligned to pagan practices or that like to switch things out seasonally, because we do have a very prosperous collection of decks, summer is a wonderful time to look at the shift of energy with the longer days and the sun being so powerful and moving things into that very solar energy. And a lot of the time here, especially in North America, lots of people go on holidays, and it's that recharge in a way that is kind of like recharging our bodies in a active way. Whereas I feel like when we're in hibernation in winter, we're recharging our bodies in a very like insular way. We're kind of like coming in, we're breathing in, and we're getting all cozy. Whereas in summer, we're like stretching and we're going to the beach and we're getting lots of sun, all that kind of fun stuff. So it's a perfect time to swap out your practices. So what exactly are summer specific themes? Well, I'm glad you wondered. You might not have wondered at all. But here are some of the things I look for in my decks for summer. Anything that has a lot of sun and fire. So anything that's got a lot of yellows and reds and oranges and pinks. Those beautiful lower chakra, fiery energy, sunny disposition kind of decks. They're definitely ones that are going to come into my practice. Abundance and growth are other themes you may want to look into for your summer decks. This is a time when we start to see summer fruits become very easily accessible. You know, we see strawberries and other luscious fruits that are coming into our lives. So anything to do with the green, summery vibe, which is kind of crazy for me in a way. When I was living in Australia, summer didn't necessarily feel like it was as abundant and in growth as spring, even like late spring, because it gets super hot in Australia. Whereas here, all of the deciduous trees become very green and it's very lush here. So I've even noticed the shift of that in my practice and in the tarot that I choose from the Northern Hemisphere to the Southern. Of course, decks that have a sense of play and adventure are going to scream summer. This is the time when you're going to water parks and camping and doing all those fun things outdoors, especially here, again, when the winters are so long and the days are so short. You really do squeeze the most out of the sunshine. So anything with adventure and play is definitely going to be on the list. And we can't have summer without the balanced theme of water. Even though it's very hot, there's got to be some beautiful, balanced, watery vibes that are coming in. Maybe it's all the swimming pools. Maybe it's all the ocean I've grown up around and wanted to be a part of my whole life, or the slides and the water parks, but definitely anything with water is going to come into my practice. Staying hydrated in the summer months is super important. I am that witch who is texting friends saying, have you drunk enough water? Where's your hydration at? You can't be hexing the patriarchy out here and be a dehydrated bitch. It just doesn't work. You got to drink your water. And no, your Frappuccino doesn't count. You need hydration. So what I have created is a couple of cooling summer teas that you can make very easily. You can double the recipes and pop them in your fridge, especially if you're the type of person who loves to go and get a cheeky little drink from your favorite coffee shop. Those things usually cost like what, $7 or something. So like save yourself the money and make a big batch of these and stick them in your fridge. Not only are they going to be great for yourself, but if you're doing client readings or if you're going to a fair or if you have a little barbecue or a party, make sure you take it with you and you can share this with your friends and your clients and your querients. There are two. The first one is a more lemon, citrus, minty vibe. So think of people who like more mojitos. And then the second one is my favorite, which is berry and basil. And it's really, really, really yummy. And you can put all sorts of different berries in it. For example, if you like the berry basil one, what I've also done is I've gotten some fresh berries from the market or from my supermarket, and I put them in there, especially when they've been nice and cold in the fridge, or you can get frozen ones and add it in there as well for extra deliciousness. So I put those two recipes over on my blog so you can go check them out and stay hydrated, and I'd love to know which one you love the most. On top of the tarot decks that I have selected for the season of summer, I wanted to share with you some of the gemstones and crystals that I really like to use this time of year and how I specifically use them in my practice. So I'm going to share with you these stones, and they're going to be alongside some of the decks that I've picked out for the season, and let's dive in. The first one, of course, is citrine. This is such a joyful stone. It's one of the only stones you're never going to have to charge. It is a solar stone. It is something associated with your solar plexus. It's a perfect stone to bring joy to your readings. It really helps with clear communication and for your confidence. Because citrine is ruled by the sun, hello, of course it's going to be here in our summer gathering. It is a wonderful stone to bring with you because of its optimistic energy. It's going to help you deliver those messages that may not be the most optimistic to your querents, and also help you maintain a really high energy level for your readings. I like to have citrine in my rings. I also have citrine next to my deck, and you can even have it somewhere near your solar plexus if you can while you are doing your readings or after, and that's the best place to have it. But even if it's just on your reading table, it's going to help you during the summer months. Carnelian being the gorgeous channeler, it is a combination of water and fire because of its association with your sacral chakra. It's going to help you with your psychic and intuitive energies, but also holding your energy and your space in your readings. This stone is going to help you stay balanced, it's going to help you stay engaged and steady in your energy flow, especially when you're trying to bridge heaven and earth, those lower chakras with that creativity and that higher chakra as well. So carnelian is fantastic. Carnelian is a really great stone to keep on your reading table for sure. It's one that I would have in my layouts or right next to me while I am shuffling the cards, or even on top of a deck, just so it's always at arm's reach. Green aventurine is a fantastic healing stone. We're bringing in those green leafy notes from nature. And this is a stone that is associated with the heart chakra. Perfect to have in your reading space so that you've got something that is helping with a very equalizing, sort of beautiful, peaceful energy. This is going to help you bring some kindness, compassion, and empathy to your readings. Not saying that you won't already have that, but especially if you're working with querents who are in a space where they may be coming out of a crisis or be very confused or even heartbroken, it's a wonderful stone to have on your desk. Definitely keep a piece of green aventurine on your desk, and even one you can give to your clients or querents as they come in, so they can hold it while you're giving them their reading. And if you are like me and have quite a lot of it, you may even want to give them a piece to take home. I adore aquamarine. It gives me, yes, the vibes from like the aquamarine movie with the mermaid, but also this cooling presence of the ocean, of waves, of coming and opening your throat chakra and delivering messages with such clarity and with that peaceful flow of the ocean. It can help quiet mental noise as well, helping you stay connected to the messages and the intuitive hits you're getting throughout your readings. Aquamarine is perfect to have in a ring or on a pendant for yourself because it'll sit right near your throat chakra. And if you're having it in a ring, it'll help you with your shuffling, especially if you're having any anxiety or you're picking up on any anxious energies around you. And it is really great to have anywhere near your hands, so bracelets and things like that. That's how I would work with the aquamarine. Now, a sunstone, a beautiful glittery mirror ball of a crystal. It helps you remain grounded and focused. And as someone with raging ADHD, I can tell you it is a very helpful stone to have as a reader. This is such a fun, sunny, summery stone. I mean, it's called sunstone. It's going to help keep things light. It's going to help move any stuck energy in your readings, and it's also going to help you stay grounded. I would definitely hold this while interpreting or while I am just looking at the reading overall, getting my bearings. And especially after my readings, I would hold on to this to become a little bit more grounded before my next session. I also have a brand new tarot spread for you over on my blog, which is Making the Most of Summer Tarot Spread. It's a 6-card tarot spread to help you get out there and have a fun, sexy, adventure-filled, energetic, amazing, magical summer. You will find the layout. You will find all the crystal information as well if you would rather see that in printed. And you will also find a list of all of the decks in the blog post and also in the description box. So now onto the main event. I have 10 tarot decks and 5 oracle decks that I have picked for summer 2025. So I'm going to swap over the cameras and I'm going to show you the decks that I've picked for the season and why they are part of my reading selection for the year. The Phantasma Tarot is another amazing deck by Paulina Faye, and I selected this because of its connection to the Fae and to the Fae realm, which is one of the lovely things about summer, especially after Letha. And it's just so gorgeous. I love that these are a little bigger, like there's no border, so you can see all of the gorgeous detail in the deck. And because this is fantastic magical creatures, but also very nature-based, it's one of the reasons why I put this in my summer collection, my summer decks for 2025. It's not a deck that I reach for a lot because of the heavy animal-centric beings in it. But because there are also like magical creatures and fae beings, it does make it a lot easier to actually, for me to connect with it. But it's just one of those decks that I feel like if I want to slip into the liminal, I can do that. Like, look at that magician. Like, instead of the person getting the rabbit out of the hat, the rabbit is pulling the person out of the hat. I just love this. I mean, look, it's 3 Fredericks. It's just so magical and gorgeous and whimsical and very fae, and that's how I work with it in summer when I want to connect with the fae, the divas, the gorgeous creatures from the liminal space. I will pull out the Phantasma Tarot. The Rainbow Heart Tarot is really, really sweet. This is from 2020. I think this is the first edition, I want to say. I've had this for quite a while. It's an indie deck, beautifully done by Rachel Rosencotter, or Cotter. depending on how you pronounce it. These are big, lovely cards. Look at that. I do know that there is another edition, so I'm not sure if there's still this size. I did check on the website, so I do believe that there is pre-orders for the next edition, but I'm not sure if it's still with this border or if it's still the same size, so you'll have to check it out. This is, as I mentioned, the 2020 version. This is such, I love that there's a Sphinx on there on this Wheel of Fortune. This is such a bright and happy deck. This reminds me of camping and festivals and being outside and, you know, get pride as well. Like there's a lot of sort of pride or community events that happen here in the summer. So we've got Pagan Awareness Day that's happening in August here. So, and then there's obviously Pride that happens in June and July, or every day. So there's a lot of fantastic sort of things that make me think of this deck. And look at this Ace of Pentacles of this pomegranate. It's so beautiful. I pick it because of the fact that it is rainbow, but also that it is bright, it is colorful. It really does invite me to this like summery space and being outdoors and enjoying all of the beautiful colors of the wind, colors of summer. So look at the yoni in this. It's just so gorgeous. It's wonderfully feminine, but also queer and just rainbowy and just delicious. So I use this a lot for any type of reading because it is Rider-Waite Smith based. It's very easy to read with. So I would happily read this with my clients and just for myself because it reminds me of the sunshine and of summer. The Woodland Fairy Tale Tarot is a lovely deck for summer as it has magic, folklore and plants, and here especially in North America we have a lot of beautiful plants that come out and really make the summer shine. This tells the story of different fairy tales in the different suits, and then there's major archetypes and major fairy tale moments in the major arcana. I have done a full walkthrough of this, and so you can find that on my channel, but I love this for the summer because of that, because my Puss in Boots for the Chariot, because it does talk about plants, right? The Chariot, we have the harvest here, the wheat, and yes, that's going to be going more into Lamnas and, you know, more into the harvest times, but it is a really great way to marry the fauna, flora, and the seasons. And who doesn't love a good fairy tale? I mean, I'll take a fairy tale any day of the week, but this one really reminds me of summer because of that. There's a lot of outside images in here. I mean, of course, there's going to be like this so beautiful, this Nine of Swords with the spindles, but because it does have the folklore and plants, it is going to be outside, and everything is like in these gorgeous like cottages and wooden cabins, and it's all very earthy. And I mean, look at that, sunflowers. I love that page. So this really reminds me of summer and being outdoors, and maybe not going into a rando's house and eating all their stuff, but as you look, I mean, waterfalls. I mean, I swim in water like that all the time. I think I said this in the walkthrough. I can only imagine how many people were really unhappy about that Queen of Wands. But look at this, beautiful outdoors archetypes here in this little tiny room. So cute. It really is. Look at that. That's a beautiful summer vibe. And so that's why I have picked this for summer, and it reads beautifully. Like, it's fairy tale without it being like too fairy tale, although I don't think there is such a thing because I love fairy tale everything. You can blame Disney for that, but this is the Woodland Fairy Tale Tarot and I adore it. I have 3 editions of this deck. I am so obsessed with it. This is the Mystic Fairy Tarot by Linda Ravenscroft. This is the mini version where you just get the little white book and the cards. Now, the reason why I bought so many versions is because the one that I have isn't borderless because I have a first edition. So if you buy the deck now, you're going to have these borderless cards, which I love because then it allows us to see more of Linda's incredible artwork. This gives me all of the teenage deliciousness that was my life, right? Like, I have been obsessed with fairies since Neopets, and it's, look at this, it's like there's just all these gorgeous flowers. Everything feels very, very lush and outside, and because again of Letha, as I mentioned before, we have this beautiful connection here, and it's also very pagan. So I love that we have here the priest instead of the Hierophant, and it's just, yeah, it's gorgeous. Now, of course, these are very pretty fairy. So if you're, you know, if you're more into the Froud fairy, which I also adore, then this might not be for you. But I love anything that has got fae, and I will gravitate towards it so quickly. This one is still in order because I was working with my other edition, and I have just since brought this one out to replace it. Like, look at this little devil, little imp. It's so cool. I just get such outdoors with the fairies, reliving my childhood, and the sun card really comes up a lot for me in the summer, and it's like being outside, getting active, working with your inner child. And as you can see, this is very inner child-like, and it tells a story all the way through. The look, they're like raising the dragon. Isn't it gorgeous in the wands? So it's just a really gorgeous deck and very easy to read with. A lot of people really love this one when I bring it out, especially at events. Really great for, you know, younger tarot readers as well. So if you've got someone who's in their, you know, tweens, they might really, really enjoy it. But just gorgeous. So pretty. And I love that she's not, the Queen of Swords isn't a miserable looking bitch. Oh my gosh, look at the widow. Just so giving the snuggles. It's so gorgeous. So this is the Mystic Fairy Tarot, a perfect fairy deck for summer. The amount of respect I have for the creator of this deck and everything that Alexandria does is, I can't even. I have the Wordless Tarot as well, which I need to spend some time with. I feel like I need to be locked into a cabin though. How can I talk about summer and summer decks without the Children of Litha, or Letha, depending on how you say it? This is a first edition. I backed this one on Kickstarter, and yes, I backed the Children of Ostara as well. Literally anything that Alexandria or Zia does, that's it, I'm there. Oh, these water horses with the mermaids. Oh, it's just so fucking beautiful. Just gorgeous. Now, this is one that I don't read with often. I highly recommend it to people if they have it. This is on my bucket list, swimming with manta rays. One of the few animals I haven't swum with. I've swum with, well, I've kayaked with killer whales, and I've swum with dolphins, seals, and lots of sharks and whale sharks. So the manta rays are on there. I digress, side quest. But this is something that I would recommend to anyone who's looking for just beautiful art. I will say that I am a greedy bitch. So I do wish that these were full size, but I do understand these little portals. It does make this deck very unique. This is probably one of the most beautiful death cards I've ever seen in my life. I want that tattooed on me. Like, look at this Page of Cups. Like it is just so gorgeous. So I don't have a moment's hesitation to recommend anything from this creator. It's just beautiful, and it's one of those decks where it feels very contemplative. Oh yes, I got that one out for me, where I would take my time and really sit with this deck. As you can see, lots of animals, fauna and flora. Not always my favorite thing, but for Litha and for nature, like the turning of the tides and the wheel, it's perfect. I mean, look at her, she's so gorgeous. Who else is excited for the Children of Ostara? So this is the Children of Litha. I'm pretty sure you can, or Litha, depending on how you say it. I'm Australian, so I'm just going to say it like that, Litha. I'm pretty sure you can still get copies, I think. Don't quote me. But, I mean, the guidebook is fantastic as well. So, had to come into my summer collection this year. There is something so disgustingly, beautifully, amazingly delicious about Chrysanne's work. I mean, just look at the cover of this. It reminds me of watermelon, of strawberries under the sun. I mean, it is just summer, 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 screams summer. This is the indie edition. You can get this edition, the Muse Tarot mass market now. I mean, the amount of information you get in her books, just beautiful. And it is really like a walk through your inner voice and your creativity. This is such a wonderful deck for when you need to get inspired again. But I mean, it is so, so beautiful. So I picked this for summer, not only because it has this beautiful bright palette, but because it is one of those decks that if you've come out of winter and spring and you feel like you've maybe not hit the ground running, you know, you're like, oh, I've stalled a little bit or I'm stuck in a rut. This is such a wonderful deck to get out and get your shit going again, because it's so infused with creativity and movement. I mean, look at this fucking card. And motivation and spark, that it is just so summer. And I couldn't not have this in here. I mean, like, look at this. It's just like the lines and the shadow and the, oh my gosh. It is so, so, so stunning. I love working with this when I'm doing business stuff for my company, for my business, when I'm doing things around workshops or working with other entrepreneurs, when I want to reflect on how I am connecting with the muses for my own inspiration, for my own creativity. This is just something that I will bring out. And it is just also one of the most beautiful collage decks, I think, ever. I don't know if anyone does collage like Chrysanne does collage. I know there's a lot out there. I know a lot of people really like collage decks, but I do think that this is the, if not the best, one of the best. I mean, like, look at this Queen of Emotions. Isn't she stunning? Gorgeous. How does this not, this screams summer, am I not right? So yeah, it gets you out of your comfort zone. It gets you to think about what you want to do for the rest of the year now that we're midway through. It gets the creative juices flowing, and it just makes me want to go outside and grab inspiration by the bloody balls and just go for it. So this is the Muse deck and the Muse Tarot, and it is the perfect creatrix deck for summer. Out of all of the mermaid tarot decks I have had and do have, and I have a few, this is my favorite. I don't see it nearly enough. I think it is almost perfect, if not perfect. Lisa has done an incredible job with the book. Julie Dillon's artwork, oh my God, I would love to work with her one day. It's on my bucket list for tarot. The book is lovely and big, and we get to see all of Julie's work just so gorgeously done. It takes mythology and different mermaids from around the world. I would love to see this more
in the wild, I think. But I bring this out nearly every single summer. Now, I know not everyone is into the big boxes. I love them. You all know I take out my decks and then I pop the boxes away in a bag, a sports bag, and rotate them that way so they're not taking up a ton of room. But I also love when you just see all your tarot decks on your bookcase. This is borderless. Look at this kelp on the background. How does it not say summer? I mean, mermaids, kelp. I mean, this is like, we need this. All of the seagrass, all the kelp, everything in the ocean is so fucking important to our oxygen and to our world. This artwork is so fucking disgustingly beautiful. I can't even. So this is borderless and stunning. I mean, come on. I don't know. I would, I'm going to go there. I think I would, I'm going to judge you if you don't like this deck. I mean, to each their own, but I just can't, like, this Polynesian myth, which being Australian, even though my ancestry is very, very Irish, Takahi, I mean, like, I just cry every time as well with Moana. Takahi is actually from Fijian Toponism. Hopefully I'm saying that right. My friend taught me. But we also have Norse. So we've got these more Nordic, I was going to say fae, but they're actually mermaids. But look, it's like a humpback whales. I mean, nearly everyone who knows me knows that I wanted to be a marine biologist. Dot and the Whale, which is a movie from a million years ago, turned me into a fierce advocate for the oceans and for anti-whaling. And I just love this so much. I love the shark. Oh, the shark. Oh, just, this is just so... What's up, sexy Kin Triton? You know, I can't even speak. I love this so much. It's so stunning. Like, I love that every one of these mermaids has got a different vibe and that we have them from different parts of the world. I'm going to try and find, isn't she beautiful? Like, and I love that there is a narrative of like the natural world and us, right? We would absolutely do this. We absolutely put whales in nets. Look at this sun card. I just adore it so much. Oh, the siren. Yeah, I love that we've got these other little fae, like the little frogs here with the pentacles. You know, this reminds me so much of like Sedna as well, in the Arctic. It's just beautiful. I can't adore this deck enough. And if this is the very first time you're seeing this, I hope you love it just as much as I do. Like, so sad. They're actually not whaling. Is it in Finland this year? They announced on the Sea Shepherd. I follow like Sea Shepherd, Captain Paul Watson, Paul Nicklin, who's my favorite wildlife and conservation photographer. And they were saying, I can't remember exactly where it is, but somewhere they're not doing it this year. It made me so happy. But like, oh, I just love so much. Okay. I could probably go through this whole stinking deck because I love it so much. But this is the Mermaid Tarot. It's by Lisa and Julie, and it is by Llewellyn. And I just think it is, there's lots of places for you to write notes. And I couldn't love this deck more if I tried. Best mermaid deck ever. I'm going to die on that hill. I'm so fortunate to have more than one of Kelly's incredible creations. So I chose the Keeper of the Sacred Bee Tarot for this year. It's partly because purple's my favorite color and I love this purple and I love the stamp on the back. I mean, we all know me and bees, but also because it's about the keepers of those in charge of making sure these bees are cared for and that we have pollinators. And I just felt like, especially this year in 2025, we are being asked to be the sacred keepers of what we hold truly dear, and that is our community. And one of the reasons why I have the bee on me, which was my very first tattoo, is because it does represent community. It represents unity. It represents working together for sweetness. It represents organization and collaboration, but also just like having your place and your people. And that is so unbelievably important, and protecting them and taking care of them. And so I chose the Keeper of the Sacred Bee Tarot because not only do I have a pollinator garden, I actually planted one all by myself this year. It was amazing. I mean, I made an absolute hot mess of it because let's face it, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to go balls to the wall and probably fuck it up. But I do have a pollinator garden, and, you know, there's stuff for hummingbirds, and it was just like, we really need to take care of each other. We really need to hold each other close and keep our loved ones safe and advocate for those people who can't. We need to keep each other sacred and loved and protected. And okay, I'm probably getting on my soapbox a little bit, but hopefully you know what I mean. And the colors, like, just look at the colors. I mean, I'm here for all the bees. So that's the reason why I chose this deck. It's so fun to read with, and it's just such an engaging deck. There's so much symbolism in all of the cards. Kelly always thinks really hard about what she's doing, what she's putting in them, and I can really appreciate that because I see that in everything she creates. So this was my selection from her gorgeous decks for summer 2025. I have no idea where the box is for the Fenestra Tarot. I have had this since it came out, and it's always been in this box. This was a box that I brought with me from Australia. So it's been in here forever, so I have no idea. But it came out in, what year is this? 2006. Oh my gosh, this is nearly 20 years old. Guys, I need a moment. Holy Batman. This is an old deck. Is this officially vintage next year? Shut up. Anyway, this is still available by the wonderful Chatria probably, and by US Game Systems. It is so pretty. It's just fucking pretty, and that's the reason why I put it in here, okay? I'm allowed to just pick a pretty fucking deck because I think it's pretty and I want it to be in here. But isn't it pretty? Take a shot every time Anthony says pretty, you'll be hammered. But it is gorgeous. It's soft. It reminds me of summer nights. These roses give me life. There's lots of roses out and flowers out right now. And it's just one of those things where it goes back to my early like witchdom. Although I would have been, my gosh, I'm just trying to think. I found the craft at like 15. So this would have been 3 or 4, I don't know. I have to do some math and I'm not good at it. But this reminds me of like my early days in the craft and my early days in the tarot, like in the first 4 or 5 years. And it's still in my collection. It's still something that I would be happy to read with. I remember a friend of mine, Amanda. Hey, Amanda, if you've ever watched this, in Australia, got this deck too, and we both loved it. So it's got a bit of nostalgia for me, but it's also just really gorgeous. I love the Art Nouveau style. Yes, these are very hot romantic-y kind of people, but again, this is nearly 20 years old, this deck, and I still absolutely love it. Like the detail in this, I do wish they were big, you know, big borderless, but I also love that they're like little paintings. So it's just, yeah, I love reading with this. It's such a romantic deck, perfect for love readings, summer love readings. Get your summer fling on. You know, if you have a little sexy romantic rendezvous in the summer, this is a great deck to work with, and I love it. So that's the Fenestra Tarot. The Good Fortune Tarot came out last year, and so it is in my collection for this year for summer. I love the false linen finish of this. Another big box, another beautiful big book. This is by Barbara Moore and the incredible Jessica Rue, and that Woodland Wardens Oracle, and there's going to be a tarot deck which you bet your bottom dollar I have already pre-ordered. Of course, this really speaks to the desire to have as many bees as possible. But also, this is a really wonderful season to look at your fortunes and really plan. So we had a full moon in Capricorn, as I'm actually filming this because I'm late to film this. But this is a really great time to make the most out of the rest of the long days to get things done. And this is a really fantastic deck as a partner to do that. I read with this with clients. It's an easy pick for client readings because it reads so beautifully, effortlessly, like just, oh, I love it. There's the heart and the mice. It's just a gorgeous, I just love this. Like, is that a big cup? It's just a wee little person, you know, like it's just, I adore the mix of the fashion in this. I love that umbrella. It's whimsical, and I love the flying fish. Like, look at the little bottle, message in a bottle, and the face in the moon and the eclipse there. It's just gorgina. I mean, how did, like, 10 of Wands making a treehouse? I mean, I would have loved a treehouse as a kid. Actually, I want a treehouse now. I remember watching, the first time I ever watched Return of the Jedi, and the Ewoks was the only part I was allowed to watch when I was like a little kid, and because the rest of it, you know, was too violent. And I remember just wanting to live in an Ewok village so badly. So I will take a treehouse now. But it's just looking these gorgeous, fun, almost vintage pinup girl suits they're wearing. Like, this is very like I'm out at like a Litha or a Beltane festival, reenacting something, but also being a part of the world of the elements here with the fish and the rabbit and the mouse and the raven. It's just really beautiful. I adore this. So yeah, I read clients with this for myself, and it just really reminds me to look at my fortune, and the fact that it's got a bunch of gorgeous fishies and bees and all that kind of stuff just makes me really happy. And there's that treehouse all finished, so I think it's a great place to stop this one. But beautiful deck for a summer, and because it's mass market, it's easy to get a hold of. The Nest of Light Oracle comes with a larger book in it, and I love the simplicity of this deck, which is one of the reasons why I've chosen it for summer, but I also really love the purpose. So the purpose of this oracle is to help you cleanse and purify your energies in your home or your workspaces in order to find harmony and peace, as well as root yourself and help those around you or those who consult you. So what an incredible purpose, intention for a deck for those of us who read for people, you know, who are needing to take stock because we're very sensitive and we need to take care of our living spaces, to cleanse our energy both inside and outside and our environment. And it felt so important to have something that was so environmentally aware, or it's aware of its impact on us, that I chose this one. It has a beautiful faux linen finish. This is by Core Magic, this deck, and it was something that I wanted to bring out because my space is something I'm really aware of all the time. I want to make sure I'm getting enough airflow. I want to make sure I'm getting enough natural light in. I want to make sure I'm taking care of my auric bodies, especially being so highly sensitive, and I have a highly sensitive sun, so making sure that we're all taken care of. And the other thing I really love is the color connection. So being someone who works with Aurosoma and my Aurosoma Tarot, this is something that I feel really aligns. So this is such a beautiful deck. It is very simple in regards to the artwork, but I love that because there's no ifs, ands, or buts about what you're looking to do with it, and you're going to be guided around the sensations in our bodies, in our aura, in our living spaces. And it's just one of those decks that I really love just to like check in. This is a great companion deck, I feel, for readings when I'm reading for clients who are in transition or feel a bit stuck in their energy. I bring this out, and it's one of those ones that really can help ground a reading or give a fantastic kind of completion for the reading itself. So really, really beautiful indie deck. And it's one that I love working with in this beautiful season of summer. I will always be a fan of the Rebel deck and everything that Shannon creates from this incredible brand, because life is too short to give a fuck and life is too short to pull punches, and this is the perfect deck to get your shit into gear. Now, it says Tarot with Attitude. This is an oracle deck. I put it in my oracle section, but I also get that it probably helps for people to find this deck if it's called Tarot. So there's two sides. It comes with a little FAQ card. So there's not too much, but you don't need too much because this is really fucking to the point, you know. Make better fucking choices. If you're pissed at where you are, then stop taking yourself there. It's so, so great. It's just when you need to get your head out of your butt, you know, I feel like this is so perfect. Now, am I going to pull this out for every client? Probably not. But sometimes I even need to have a friend or a friend like this. But if you don't have a friend who can call you and be like, listen, bitch tits, you need to sort your shit out, then this is a great deck to have. Or you don't have people who are going to be, I guess, so forward with you. My entire family have big mouths, so I've got no problem. People will tell me exactly how they feel. But not everyone has that. But I love this. If I got this card, to be honest, I'd be like, fuck that. I get something else. But I do love this. You know, get some fucking sleep. Like, yes, you're being an ass because you're fucking tired. Face to pillow now. Put the phone down, you know. It is just so, so great and to the point and really fun. And obviously, if you're going to cry about someone saying fuck, then first of all, we're not going to be the best of friends because it's just a fucking word. And secondly, like, it's just, who cares? Swearing is fun. Fuck, 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 shit, fuck. Like, I love it. Get the fuck outside and move your ass. Ask a fucking expert, you know, like, take a fucking trip. And honestly, again, in this dark timeline we find ourselves in, oh my God, we would all love some good shit about to happen. And just a reminder that life is short and you just need to go out and get what you want and put the fucking phone down, stop watching the fucking news, go talk to some people. Yeah, it's just amazing. And Shannon has created a really fun, colourful, perfect vibe 24/7, but I love this for summer. The Soul Flower Plant Spirit Oracle deck is so gorgeous. The watercolour art is simply stunning. Now, this is by Lisa Estabrook. Now, this is from 2016. This is the indie edition. I don't have the mass market edition, so someone's going to have to tell me if it's, like, if they do have it and if it's different. So you get a little instruction piece in the deck itself, but I just love letting the artwork speak for itself. So there's a couple of different backs, which I find really fun. And then just the artwork, again, flowers, being outside with all the pollinated gorgeousness, seeing some of these turn into fruits. It is just a perfect deck. This is probably my favorite, one of my favorite flower / herbal decks. I honestly think this is one of the best ones. There are a lot of them out there, but if you are a kitchen witch or a liminal witch or a hedge witch or someone who just likes to fucking garden, this is an absolute must, I believe, because it has beautiful artwork, but it's also very well thought out, and there's practice suggestions in here, and I really think that not every deck is done as well as this. Like, it was clear that Lisa set out to do this so intentionally that it's so seamless. So I love this for summer because it's some flowers that I can see in my garden. Like, there's lavender out there. This is very early spring, but we did have them coming in. So it's one of those beautiful reminders of our gorgeous flower friends. And for the witch who loves to make herbal teas or tinctures, things like that, it's a great place to start. And it is just beautiful. So I love this to, again, at the end of a reading, or to give this to someone to shuffle and just really, you know, there's two things in here. We need to think about someone's independence, but also the bleeding heart. So there's like a multitude of ways that you can read with just one card. And I'm not the most knowledgeable when it comes to flower lore. Like, I know enough. It's not my forte. Herbal knowledge and things like that. Like, it's not my area of study, but I do know that this has been very well researched and well done. So gorgeous, gorgeous. And yeah, you can get this mass market now, which is a bonus for everybody. So this is out on my desk for summer. Season of the Witch, Litha Oracle, or Letha. Don't know how you want me to say it, guys. Ladies, gentlemen, he, she's, theys, we's, fairies, mermaids, and magical people. But it's beautiful. I love the purple. I have all of these decks, so I wanted to share this just in case you don't have it. It's so centric around summer that I feel like you can't not have it in there. I mean, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But what is lovely about this is it's just like, it's a no-brainer. Like, the work is done for you. It's like, let me see what deck I'm going to bring out and read with around this time of year. And I love having these decks out if I'm doing a specific Sabbath pull, if I'm doing a ritual around the Sabbath, if I'm having a gathering, or if I'm doing a spell, or if I'm doing a specific reading for myself or my clients around that time, I will bring out the Witch's Season of the Witch deck that is connected to it. I love all the artwork. I love it's very folk art and hand painted. Thank God it's not AI crap. So it's something that I will always bring out and always really enjoy working with. And I mean, you can't go wrong with this beautiful blue. Oh, peonies are so nice. Paper boats, just a real snail. So it just makes me happy. You know, it really makes me very, very happy to have these decks so that I can work with them myself and recommend them to, you know, to fellow witches, but perfect for the summer season. And it is out on my reading desk right now. Oh, heat wave. We just had one of those. And then literally a day later, it has been dumping down with rain for 2 days. I guess it's the Pacific Northwest, right? But that is the Season of the Witch. This is by Rockpool, published by Rockpool, and it's done by Lorraine Anderson, Juliet Diaz, and illustrated by Tiana Ludwig, and it's just gorgeous. I recently just shared this deck, but it is out with the Mermaid Tarot, and I'm not a fan of the box per se. I talked about how, like, I find it annoying, but I love this. I hope they do more. I hope there's like a gnome one, because we had a fairy one. I hope there's like a fire drake one as well, to have the 4 elements, because it is just so beautiful. It's mass market, so it's really easy to get a hold of. This is just, yeah, I find it just so gorgeous. And there's 40 cards in here, so you do get quite a good number. And look at the borders themselves, like all that color. Oh, it's just so delicious. So this is the perfect, for me, the perfect deck to have next to the Mermaid Tarot. The other one that I would have, but I'd have to dig it out, is Selena Fenich's Mermaids deck. But this is something that I just absolutely adore. I have loved reading with it. The art style is gorgeous. It just is something, oh my God, I just love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. It's been really fun to bring out for those types of readings where I'm just really wanting to dive into my water baby, my water baby self, and read with mermaids and just be really happy with all the beings under the sea. So it's just so gorgeous. You can see more of this deck on my channel where I go through the whole thing, but it's just like, oh, so look at the siren underneath. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So this is out and getting a lot of use this summer, and I freaking love it. So that is the Mermaids Oracle deck and guidebook.
I would love to hear from you of what decks you're using for summer. Have you swapped everything out this season, or did it get away from you like it did me? How have you found the tarot spread that I've created for you? What fun summer things are you doing this year? I would love to hear from you. Comments really, really help my channel, and it takes only a moment. And if you give this a little thumbs up as well, that's super helpful. And I will see you all next time.